So I'm about ready to leave for work in about 35 minutes. Um, I don't know if I'm going to be able to even make this video. I'm having a really hard time with my editing app. I ended up in the beginning of this month, we had a lot of financial problems and it was kind of like a buzzkill. Um, we've also been doing like a lot of like family time, been trying to get the family back together. We've been trying to do Sunday dinners again. We've been trying to like get the kids at the table. And it's been really hard with me with my schedule because there's been multiple past weekends that I have not worked. And I've had off Saturdays and Sundays. And then all of a sudden, I'm back on Saturdays and Sundays again. So we basically have just been trying to like think ahead. We've been doing that. I am not the type of person that likes to do that. I'm not going to lie. I don't like making plans because thinking too far ahead is just kind of a waste of time. Um, I myself in February, it was kind of another growth month for me. It was another month of mental growth. Lots and lots of mental growth. I had to really get past a lot of my own insecurities, my own childish antics, my own flaws, my own just things that I've done in the past that don't serve me any purpose. And I had to learn how to motivate myself because there's not always, like, I've heard there was a girl that I watch on YouTube, she said this before, and now I'm getting ready to say it. There's not always going to be motivation around you. Like, there's not always going to be things that are going to like make you want to go to work. You're not going to always have something that's going to be like, yeah, let's do this because of ABC. No, sometimes you just have to motivate yourself. Um, I'm working a job right now that is in retail, and I like working in retail. It's something that it's easy to me. It's not that hard. Um, I've been hanging out clothes my whole entire life because I have children. That's not the problem. The biggest issue that I have right now is it's just financial. I'm not doing very good financially at this job, which is kind of a killer. So basically, I've only been working 2 days a week and my hours dramatically dropped. And it's been very hard on my wallet because somebody asked me this in my comments and they were like, what do you mean, like, your landlord keeps adjusting your rent? So I'm about to be blunt. I live in low income housing. I do not have my own home. I do not, I do pay rent and I do have to pay rent to live here. The problem is when you live in low income housing, it's income adjusted rent. So basically, whatever you're making per month, your landlord will adjust your rent based off of how much you're bringing in your household. The bad part is when that happens sometimes, just because you're getting a certain amount of hours at your job doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be the same amount of hours that you're going to get the next month. At some jobs, yes, it's always like that, but some jobs it's not. And the bad part of that is that when they stabilize your rent and she gets you or he gets you a rent number, that doesn't always necessarily mean that the following month you're going to be able to compete with that number that you had last month because your hours don't reflect that. I am right now this is another goal this year for 2025, is I want to be able to get out of low income housing. I don't want to live in this kind of environment anymore. I am beyond grateful that I do have a place to live. I am grateful I have a roof over my head, heat, food, and everything else, and that I have a place to rest my head. But I just don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be giving my money I don't want to live in low income housing anymore. So that's another goal that I want to do this year, is start trying to figure that out. Um, so yeah. Another little and slightly get ready with me. In the previous clip, I was talking about lack of hours at my job, not really making a lot of money. So I have been on Indeed and I've been all over the place trying to find a secondary job. End up putting in an application for a company that I used to work for, but it was like 5 or 6 years ago, and it's kind of a long shot. I don't know if it's going to go through or not, but they contacted me yesterday while I was at work, and they want me to come in, or they want me to have an interview with them tomorrow. I don't work tomorrow, but realistically, the chances of me getting this job are pretty much like on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm going to say like a 3 or a 4. And the reason why I say that is because, like I said, I used to work there 5 or 6 years ago. I'm just going to say who it is. Okay, so this store is not like nationwide. It's in certain states, but it's not like completely nationwide. I think they're like in Ohio, Pennsylvania. I think there's one in Florida, but it's Meyer. I'm kind of sticking in the retail area. I'm not trying to step out of the retail zone because I have experience in retail, obviously. And also, like I said in my other clip, is that I like working in retail. So what I usually do for like every interview before I go to the interview, or sometimes if I get the job before I start actually working at that place, I usually go on Google reviews and I try to see like what the work environment is like. I'm not gonna like name the city in which this Meyer is located because I don't want to put them on blast like that. But the Google reviews, work wise, did not look good. A lot of it, the comments that I was seeing are management. Now, I will say this. When I first got the job over at TJ, I went and I looked at the Google reviews and it was the same thing. A lot of people were saying that the management sucked. They were saying that people were rude there. They were saying that, they didn't really care about their employees, blah, blah, blah. So when I first started working there, I was nervous. I was like, oh boy, this is going to kind of probably suck. Um, yeah, none of it was true. None of it was true. I don't know if that specific person just had a bad experience working at TJ Maxx, but every job that you take is going to have its flaws. It's going to have those people. And that's like everywhere you work. But I have worked there going on 3 months. I haven't had that problem. I've had issues. I'm not going to lie. I've had problems, but not those kind of issues. I've not had the issues that were listed on this review. The funny part is the review came from a current employee, and I was like, what? And they still work there. I don't know who this person is. But so I'm just going to do this. I'm going to try doing the interview. I'm going to talk to them. Like, that's how much snow we have. Like, piles of snow. I don't know. Anyways, the interview for that is tomorrow. I'm going to see how it goes.
She calls me day and night. I'm sorry, girl, you just don't make me feel right. I never meant to make you cry, you were right. Just leave me be, I'm not gonna put up a fight. And every time you wake up feeling worse and then you check the time, it's never what it feels like, just throw me a dime. If everything was good, then you would feel alive. If everything was good, then you would feel alive.
yeah, I came home sick from work today. Um, Ended up going and clocking in and doing what I usually do, and got there and got sick. So I ended up going home. I'm not happy about it because, like I said, my hours have been dramatically reduced at my job, and my paychecks have been very small. So it was a gamble, and it was a sacrifice to leave. But my boss was like, we don't want, everybody else in the building getting sick. There's been already like a bunch of illnesses going around at my job right now, and like a lot of my coworkers are sick or they were sick, and now they're back at work, but they're like still like hacking and coughing and everything. So it's just like going around. I guess like my grandma and grandpa have it. My mom's not feeling good. My husband's not feeling good. My oldest son is not feeling good. My youngest son had it about 3 days ago. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up, and I hope to speak to y'all again soon. Peace.